Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today these are the 3 bracelets that we will be making. Most of the visual pieces that you see here, I got in the March 2022 Bargain Bead Box. But the toggle clasp, the findings, the bead caps, they all came from my stash. And I will link below anything that I can that I did not get in the bead box. So I really enjoyed making these bracelets. I just absolutely love the way that they came out. They're all very similar, but just different enough. They look like they could very easily be a stackable set or worn individually. I love the way they came out. If you would like to see how these bracelets came about, then stay tuned. All right, so I'm gonna get right into this. I'm gonna start by telling you the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers. I am also going to be using my set of crimping pliers and my set of 5 fine point cutters. And I will be using 49 strand bead along wire, and I always get it in the 100 feet because I just go through it too quickly. That I get it in the silver color, which is listed as the color bright. And I think the most I've ever seen it in the store is either 10 feet or 30 feet, but it's much cheaper, and you can get the 100 feet from Amazon. I'll go ahead and say now I will link below in the description box as many things as I can. A lot of what I'll be using today came from the March 2022 Bargain Bead Box. But the things that didn't come from the bead box, like I said, I will link below. So some of the things, starting with the toggle clasp that I will be using, the engravings along the side of these toggle clasps are pretty awesome. They almost look like snakes, but it's kind of has that back and forth S shape. And of course the findings, jump rings, crimp tubes, crimp covers, wire guardians, all of these in the antique bronze finish. I'll be using 2 different size spacer beads. I have the larger 6mm spacer and then the smaller 2mm spacer, both in the antique bronze finish. I also have these awesome little spacer beads. I like the engraved design and how it has the pentagon kind of shape, ball sticking out at the 5 corners. So these are the spacers that I'll be using. And my bracelets today, what I have in mind are, they're all similar. So they would stack very well to be kind of worn together, but they of course are different. I'll be using these flat ice blue round beads, almost wheel shape, and the 2 bicone beads that came in the bead box. So I will show you how I start off a bracelet. I'll put on the jump ring, and the crimp tube, and the wire guardian. And I'll go ahead and say and laugh at myself real quick. Put the wire in one side of the wire guardian, wrap it around, put it through the other, pull it down like this. And I'll go ahead and say really quick, because you'll definitely be able to see it in the video. So I smashed my nail today. So of course, all the rest of my nails look fine. And today I was walking my dog. My dog is 120 pounds, a very large dog. And he pulled on his leash a little bit and it snapped my nail right into, and that is, I recognize that that is kind of sticking out there, but not a whole lot that I can do about it. So yes, if you notice it, I'm aware of it. All right, so we make sure that the jump ring goes up in the wire guardian just like this, and the crimp tube, the wires go through the crimp tube. All right, I want to have the wires separated, make sure that they're not twisted in there. I'm going to take my fingers and push that wire guardian closed just a little bit, and again, like I said, separate that wire, push that crimp tube up. I'm going to take the wire on the other end and just kind of pull it down a little bit snug. Take my crimping pliers, go into that second divot and smash it, and that will give you that nice taco shape. Turn it on its side and go in that first divot and smash it. And then I like to also go that one extra step, because it does close it decently, but I like to go to that one extra step, the flat part at the end of the crimp tube, and give it that final smash, and then it's nice and snug. I'm gonna hold on to that jump ring and place that crimp cover right over the top of the smashed crimp tube. At this point, I'm going to take it and flip it over. I'm going to take it and flip it over just like that. And I will get my chain nose pliers and give it a good smash. All right. So that is the beginning of this bracelet, and this is how I will begin each bracelet that I make. So if you need that extra help, you can always go back to this point of the video to see how to begin the bracelet. So now it's just a matter of the order. All right, so the awesome thing about this crimp cover is it gives off the illusion of being the first bead, which is amazing. So I'm going to start with the bicone, small spacer, then I'm going to do bead cap facing up, flat round, bead cap facing down, large spacer. And I'll go ahead and put one more bead cap facing up, flat round, bead cap facing down. So on the other end, I'm going to come back through and tuck that tail into the first few beads. And there you have it. And again, as you can see, that crimp cover at the end definitely gives off the illusion of the first bead. So now the pattern here with the flat rounds surrounded by bead caps with the large spacer in between, that's going to be the majority of the necklace. It's just going to be this repeated. So I will catch back up with you at the end of this bracelet. All right, so here is the entire bracelet, all the way through to the bicone at the end, and I'm going to show you how I close each bracelet. So I'm going to have a crimp tube, jump ring, wire guardian. And pull that through. I'm going to push that jump ring up. Make sure that jump ring goes inside the wire guardian. And make sure both ends of the wire go through the crimp tube. So now I'm just going to kind of hang on to that jump ring and pull it down a little bit snug. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and send the wire through the last few beads at the end. So I'm going to grab that tail and pull it through. Make sure that crimp tube isn't stopping it. So now that I've pulled that through, I'm going to close that guardian wire just a little bit with my fingers by smashing it. Just a little bit, not too tough. Pull it kind of snug with my fingers through the beads. I'm going to hang on to those beads. I'm going to come in with my crimping pliers, go into that second divot. Go into that second divot and give it a good smash. Get that taco shape, turn it on its side. Go into that first divot. Give it another smash. And then of course I like to go into that flat part at the end. To give it that final smash. And that makes it nice and smashed really tight. All right, so now I'm gonna hold on to that jump ring, place that crimp cover right over the top of the smashed crimp tube, and then flip it over. Then I'm gonna grab my chain nose pliers and give it a solid smash. And then you have that same illusion on the other side. So I'm gonna take that tail and I'm gonna get in there as close as I can. And then take my nail and push it through that bead so that it is hidden. And there's the bracelet. Now I'm going to add the toggle clasp. So I'm going to take both sets of my chain nose pliers, open the jump ring, add one end of the toggle clasp, close the jump ring, go to the other side, open that jump ring, grab the other end of the toggle clasp and put it on there. Close that jump ring. All right, so there is the first bracelet. So here we have it. On to the next one. So now we're working on the second bracelet, and I have already got the bracelet started. Again, if you need that additional help, you can go back to this point of the first bracelet. It's the exact same process. So this bracelet, we're going to be using the large ice blue rounds that came in the March bead box, and I'm going to be using the very last faceted, almost elongated bead, and this was beautiful. I had a feeling I would use them all, and I'm going to. So I'm also going to be using the large 6mm spacers, and then these are the bead caps that I'm going to be using from my stash. And again, I'm going to link below as many things as I can. All right, I'm going to be using these two of these 2mm pearls that I purchased from Potomac Beads. And I know that that tail will not fit back through these pearls, so I'm actually just going to get as close as I can and snip the tail. And then I don't have to worry about it. And the pearl is going to go right up against it, just like this. So now we're going to have the large spacer, bead cap facing up, ice blue round, bead cap facing down. All right, so just like that. We're going to repeat this pattern with the large spacer, bead cap, and ice blue round 4 times. All right, so here is one side of the bracelet, and now this faceted round is going to be in the middle. So we've already got the spacer there, but we're also going to be putting one bead cap facing up, faceted round, bead cap facing down, spacer. So it's just going to be the one in the center. And then now we're going to do exactly what we have over here with the 4 ice blues and then the 1 tiny pearl at the end. So we're going to do the exact same thing over here. I'll meet you at the end. All right, so here is the second bracelet. I did go ahead and close it, and once again, if you need that additional help on how to close a bracelet, go ahead and go back to that first one, and the process is the exact same. So here we go, bracelet number 2. On to the next one. All right, this last one, once again, I have already started the end of this bracelet with the jump ring and everything. You can go back to the beginning. And the beads that I will be using, these almost look like clear glass, and I like that illusion, but they also pick up some color too, depending on how the light hits them. I'm going to be using 3 of the ice blue rondelles. I'm going to be using several of the tiny spacers. And I will be using more bead caps from my stash. They give almost a flower illusion. Okay. So the pattern for this one, the end is going to be bead cap facing up, rondelle, bead cap facing down. And then in between each one is going to be a small spacer on this one. So we can put that all the way down, and then we can look at that tail, just like that. And on the opposite end of this bracelet, we're gonna have 1 blue rondelle and then have one in the middle. So now we're going to be using 4 of our clear glass. Bead cap facing up, large clear round, bead cap facing down, small spacer. All right, so I'm gonna do this 3 more times. All right, so here is this side of the bracelet. Got 4 of the clear rounds, and now right in the center of the bracelet, there's going to be another ice blue rondelle. So we're going to have bead cap facing up, rondelle, bead cap facing down, and then small spacer. All right, so now we're going to do the same 4 clear glass rounds on the other side and finish it with a rondelle. All right, so here is the last bracelet. And once again, I love how the crimp tubes, the crimp covers at the end just kind of give that illusion that they just continue the spacer beads. So here we go. All right, so here are the 3 bracelets. I mean, I think they stack pretty well. They look pretty nice, very similar styles. They look like they are a set. So I'm going to go ahead and set them up on my display and we'll be right back. All right, so here are the final 3 bracelets. And once again, I love how they came out. I think they look really good. They would go really good as a set, but also I think they look nice. I mean, individually, I think they could be worn on their own as well. Again, if you check that description box below, I will link everything that I can. I'm trying to get better at that. I get asked all the time where I get some of the things that I use, so I am working on it. I will link as many things below as I can that did not come in the bead boxes. And I appreciate if you use the links that I put down there. It definitely helps this channel a lot, so thank you in advance. And if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Give me a like, leave a comment. I love reading your comments. And if you have questions, I get questions all the time as well. I love reading your comments. You're so kind. And I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.